Hello everyone. Again, a warm welcome to the weekly discussion on the Sattva channel, which is the official online platform of the Sattva project. Tonight we are going to have an interesting and inspiring discussion. So this is a series of dialogue called Noble Tara series, and our topic of tonight's discussion is female leaders and leadership in Buddhism. Myself Samiksha Mishra.
Myself, Samisha Kamble, and we both are from Sattva Youth, bringing Dharma to you and bridging Dharma with youth. So, Sattva Youth is also an online program which is initiated by the Sattva project. So, before we start up with our today's program, let us thank few of our supporters. So, let me first thank Durian FM and Durian Asian, who are our media partners. And then also, I would like to thank Brother Chong for all his support. So, Brother Chong, would you please like to greet our audience?
Hi, everyone. Very good evening and welcome to our broadcast this evening. Please do like and share so that more people can benefit from our session today. And for those of you who are watching later on YouTube, please do subscribe, like, and share as well. And now back to you, ladies.
Thank you, Brother Chong.
Thank you, Brother Chong. Okay, so now let's begin this session. Let's begin this session with a brief introduction of the moderator and our guest speakers of tonight's discussion. So, Brother Chong, can we have a first slide of our moderator, please?
Yeah. So our today's moderator is Lydia Brown. So she is a clinical psychologist. She is a resilience researcher and mindfulness teacher. She holds academic position at the University of Melbourne and La Trobe University and has completed her postdoctoral training at Harvard Medical School. She is fascinated by how people can use mindfulness and compassion based techniques to cope with life's challenges. Her research in this area has been covered in the media internationally, including the Chicago Turbine, the ABC, and Reuters Health. Prior to training to be a psychologist, she spent many months living in a Buddhist monastery in the hills above Kandy, Sri Lanka, where she learned Buddhist meditation. She draws on this personal training in meditation as well as her knowledge of the science to deliver workshop and public talks. As an international advisory board member to Headspace, one of the world's leading mindfulness meditation apps, she helps shape global trends in mindfulness and well being practices. She shares their mission to improve the health and happiness of the world. So, a very warm welcome to Sister Lydia.
Thank you, and it's an honor to be here. I'm delighted to be here tonight to discuss female leadership in Buddhism.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then Brother Chong, can we have the slide? Yes.
Yeah, so first contributor of tonight's discussion is Venerable Tenzin Dasel. Venerable Tenzin Dasel is a teacher and meditation instructor at Tashi Choedron in Maine, USA. Venerable is a graduate in BA from the prestigious Pitts College, USA. She has received her degree of Master in Arts from the respected Bangor Theological Seminary, the third oldest seminary in the USA. She has been practicing Buddha Dharma with her root Lama, Khenso Rinpoche Lobsang Tsetan, since 2002 and was ordained by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in 2017. She was the founder of Main Mindfulness Project USA in 2008. She is a retreat teacher, Tho Sampling Institute and Nunnery 2017. She teaches teaching tours in India, Russia, USA, Taiwan, the Bahamas from 2016 to 2019. She was an assistant to Jasuma Tenzin Palmo from 2019 to 2021. She was also an awardee of National Association of Professional Women's Wellness. She is also the Sattva instructor and a conference leader, speaker, moderator, member of the Female Sangha Leadership Committee. She was also a presenter, Parliament of the World's Religions in 2015, Salt Lake City, USA, and 2018, Toronto, Canada. She is a meditation leader and presenter, Sakya International Association of Buddhist Women, Hong Kong, 2017, and Australia, 2019. She is an active member of Association of Non-Himalayan Nuns. We all welcome you, Venerable, in the today's discussion.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction. Thank you very much. My pleasure to be here with everybody and looking forward to a rich and productive conversation.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining. Yeah, Brother Chuan. Yeah.
Okay. So our next contributor is Venerable Dr. Karma Tashi Choedron. Venerable Dr. Karma Tashi Choedron is a Shravanirika and was ordained by Venerable Tenzin Dasel Rinpoche in 2009. Venerable Dr. Karma is a meditation teacher focusing on mind training, calm abiding, and insight meditation. She is trained as a civil engineer and holds a PhD in environment and resource studies from Mahidol University, Thailand. She completed an MA in Buddhist Studies from the International Buddhist College, IBC, in 2016. Venerable Dr. Karma is an environmentalist, environmental sociologist, and social auditor. She is currently an assistant professor in development studies at the School of Politics, History and International Relations, University of Nottingham, Kuala Lumpur, and the Deputy Director of Education at the Vajrayana Buddhist Council of Malaysia, YBCM, and she's also religious advisor to the Malaysian Buddhist Consultative Council, MBCC. Venerable Dr. Karma received the Outstanding Woman in Buddhism Award in 2010 in recognition of her contribution to Buddhism and the environment by the Association from the Promotion of Status of Women in Thailand. Venerable Dr. Karma Tashi Choedron has authored two books on her conservation and co-authored a book featuring a comparative study between Sikhism and Buddhism titled Two Gurus, One Message. We all give a warm welcome to you, Dr. Karma. We are very delighted to have you here.
Tashdili, everybody. Thank you, Samiksha. I'm very happy to be here with you. Thank you for having me. Look forward to a very fruitful discussion this evening. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Yes. So our third contributor is Bhikkuni Vandana. Bhikkuni Vandana is from Gujarat and now she's studying in Nagpur, Maharashtra. She's doing her BA second year in Pali. She was ordinated as Bhikkhuni in 2019. She now lives in Nagpur, Maharashtra to pursue her higher studies and dharma practices. She vows to work for the welfare for Buddhist women and is fully committed in striving for a better and brighter future for Bhikkhuni Sangha and female empowerment. We all welcome you, Bhikkuni Vandana.
Now, Budaya, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
So, our next contributor of this program is Dr. Christie Chang. She is the advisor, the event director, and dialogue coordinator of the Sattva project. She was the joint president of International Buddhist Confederation from 2007. Oh, she is the joint president of International Buddhist Confederation from 2017 till now. Then she is the president of Sakyadita Taiwan. She was the chair of steering committee for International Lay Buddhist Forum from 2014 to 2019. She was the president of Sakyadita International Association of Buddhist Women from 2009 to 2013. She was also the president of Hawaii's East-West Center Taipei chapter from 2015 to 2017. She was also the director of Council on International Buddhist Exchange, CIEE Taipei from 2001 to 2020. She holds a PhD in linguistics from the University of Hawaii at Monau. A very warm welcome.
Thank
To Dr.
you. Thank you, our two Submiksha sisters. And Ami Tuofu, greetings from Taipei, Taiwan.
Yes. Now, Sister Lydia, it's over to you.
Thank you. And I'm so delighted to be here with my Buddhist sisters from around the world. So we have venerables representing different places from around the world. So we have actually, maybe if we go around and if you'd like to say where you are, so we can just get that global perspective around the room. So maybe starting with Venerable Tenzin Dasel, where are you speaking from at the moment?
Hello, everybody. And I'm here in Maine, USA. And it's very early in the morning. Greetings, good day, good time to everyone, wherever you are on the planet. And we're having our first snowfall of the winter, a few days before the official winter, but very nice and cozy in our beautiful shrine room here. So happy to be with everybody.
Thank you. And Venerable Dr. Tashi, whereabouts are you right now?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Lydia. I'm in Malaysia, where it's raining. And we're experiencing lots of floods. So my thoughts and prayers also go out to my fellow Malaysians who are suffering with endless floods. Thousands have been evacuated. So I would like to also dedicate our discussion today to those who have been, caught in the rain and the floods.
Sorry to hear that. Yes, absolutely. Our thoughts go out to those affected by the floods. And Bhikkuni Vandana, where are you speaking from today?
Namaste everyone. Thank you to invite me here. I'm in Gujarat now. I came here for some work. Today I'm speaking here from Gujarat, Junagadh. If you heard Gir Forest, yeah, it's front of my monastery. So I'm very happy today to see when Tenzin. I heard so much about you. I listen your teachings every day, but I never met you before, and I'm very blessed that I met you today. Thank you everyone. Yeah.
And Dr. Christie Chang, where are you speaking from today?
I'm speaking from Taipei, Taiwan. Usually I'm like everywhere around during this time, but because of the pandemic, I'm not going anywhere. This is the longest period of time I'm in Taipei, trying to relearn about where I'm supposed to be based in. But anyway, very, very glad to see sisters from the different parts of the globe. A happy reunion.
And I'm based in Australia, where it's already after 10 o'clock. It's nearly 11 o'clock at night here. So we have early in the morning in Maine to late at night. So although we're from different corners of the world, the speakers here all share a very deep connection to Buddhism, to the Dharma, and are also wanting to have a voice within the Dharma, to speak and to share knowledge of Buddhism from different schools as what I would say as leaders. Well, absolutely as leaders. So giving voice to the Dharma, and because we're all women, it's a female voice. So that is the topic for today's discussion. It's about female leadership in Buddhism, and what an important topic. And in fact, this weekend, I believe it's a very auspicious weekend to be talking about this topic. We were talking just before we went live. We had a backstage area, and Bhikkuni Vandana was explaining that this is the weekend of a full moon, the last full moon for the calendar year. Bhikkuni Vandana, can you explain what the significance of this weekend is?
It's a very special for in Sri Lanka. People in Sri Lanka, they say it's Induwapaya Day, and in history, if you see, it says Sanghamita Day, because this day Sanghamita brings that Bodhi tree from India to Sri Lanka, and she was very energetic that time. And she was the first lady who went across the sea, from India to other country to spread about Buddha Dhamma. And with him, there were all men, like Mahendra, and 10 other people were with him, with her. So she is very inspired, like inspiration for the women nowadays also. Because of Bhikkhuni Sanghamitras, now we can see that Bhikkhunis who are trying to ordinate, we can see what strength Sanghamitra held. And if we observe how she went there and how she controlled all the things there, because she was new in Sri Lanka, and how she managed, I'm truly very inspired by her, and I'm really wanted to follow her steps, and I want to do something like that. And in this generation, that same thing happens for Bhikkhunis. I won't take much time, but you asked, that's why. For Sanghamitra, like nowadays, Bhikkhuni should be like her, because if you don't have if you don't believe in yourself, then you can't do anything. Like she believes in herself. That's why when she went in Sri Lanka, she wasn't afraid that no, I can't do. She was, yes, because this opportunity my father gives to me, because that she was holding on it. And she was in heart, she was decided, yes, I want to work for Dhamma. I want to work for Buddha's Dhamma and for Sangha. That's why she spread the Dhamma there. And still, after 2,300 years later, still people respect her so much. Because of her, Sri Lankan people have the Dhamma. So like her, Bhikkhunis should have courage in themselves, and they should work with Dhamma. And I believe that if all countries Bhikkhuni came together, we can still build a good Bhikkhuni Sangha as like Buddha's time there was. And I was really wish if that will happen. And I'm trying to do that. That's why I'm here today, and I'm very grateful that Bhikkhunis Tenzin and Bhikkhuni Kammai are here. And thank you, Christie Chang and Lydia. Yes, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Bhikkuni, for those comments and for sharing about the importance of this weekend. And you also touched on a quality of Buddhist leadership that Sanghamitra had, which was fearlessness, which was, I believe in myself, I have courage and I have something to say, and I want to share that with fearlessness. And that takes me to a question I wanted to ask all of our speakers today of, what qualities make a successful Buddhist leader? So we'll get into women and women's leadership, but I wanted to start by looking at leadership in general, Buddhist leadership. Bhikkuni mentioned the quality of fearlessness and belief in self. But from the other speaker's perspective, what qualities make a successful leader? Venerable Tenzin, I might ask you again, because I understand you've only just left the Himalayas, is that right? Even in a COVID world, you were not long ago in the Himalayas with Venerable Jetsuma Tenzin Palmo, who is, in my view, a wonderful Buddhist leader, but having been, and you yourself are a wonderful Buddhist leader. So having had that transition so recently, from your perspective, what qualities make a good Buddhist leader or a successful Buddhist leader?
Thank you for the question, and thank you for the opportunity to share. I think first, if I look at it, even before we introduce the idea of Buddhist leader or female leader, if I look at leadership as a topic, what has always come to me is the courage to trust oneself. There has to be a healthy sense of an aim and a vision, a benefit, an intention, a motivation, and then the capacity to believe in one's own self to actualize that. And so this kind of transcends or goes beyond the theme of gender or even religion into this kind of healthy self-confidence. Jetsuma Tenzin Palmo would say, in the end, as a Buddhist walking the path, We need a sense that we're going to transcend the self, but to be able to walk the path, we need a healthy sense of self. So if I look at the life stories of, let's say Siddhartha, before he became the Buddha, he had to have a fearless sense of confidence to give up everything that he knew, his palace, his wife, disappoint his father, who desperately wanted him to follow in line to become a king, to follow an inner calling that he had, to go beyond the worldly leadership as a universal monarch. And so, yes, having just been in India, of course, it's blessed to be in India, no matter what's happening there, because it is the birthplace of Siddhartha. It is the cradle of Buddhism that then spread out to the rest of the world. Glorious Mother India, holding everything there: Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism, Christianity, Judaism, all the world faiths are there, and even just common human decency, humanity's there in all of its resplendent and struggling forms. And all of the lineages are there. The Pali tradition is there, the Sanskrit tradition is there, and the Vajrayana tradition is there. So it's a very special, sacred place to be. Having said that, never living in a cloistered nunnery and being an American who also enjoys lots of freedoms, good friends with Sister Christie, and we joke all the time that we maybe have spent more time in the air than we have on ground in this lifetime, but that's because we're traveling all the time to try to bring the love of Dharma, to bring the love and joy of the message of equanimity and inclusivity. And to do that, you have to have a sense of fearlessness, right? You have to have the noble heart that is very clear about the reason for doing what we're doing in this lifetime, for walking the walk we're walking. And that includes courage, that includes a very inner sense of being settled and composed and going into new situations. You're always meeting your learning curve, because if you're truly living in the moment with a true pure dedication, motivation to serve the greatest good. This is always, even before I met Buddhism, I'm not born in a Buddhist country. I'm born in USA. I'm not raised by a Buddhist family, but when I met the Buddha Dharma, I thought, no, here's a teacher who set himself on his path, who found his true calling and purpose to find the answers, and undertook incredible hardships of being rejected by his father, who didn't accept his view even when he tried to present it to him, who went into the jungles, giving up this very cushy life he lived for his whole life. He lived a very cushy life in the palace and took on the hardships of the ascetic. He went too far. He came back from that edge. In other words, he didn't give up his precious human life, but he found that he was going too extreme to find the beautiful Dharma. And even when he found that, he wasn't sure what he could share, but through his humility and through his great, great compassion, turn the wheel of the Dharma. And so this gives me incredible inspiration walking the path. I don't know, I don't think of myself as a leader. I actually feel like I'm quite new to it still, but with a courage of loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and joy, because these are the four immeasurable qualities that all humans can embody and encompass. But it really does, when I get into those moments of like, now what's going on here? I just say Om Tari Tu Tari Ture. So I don't know, but Arya Tara knows, and she'll help me figure it out. She's the all-accomplishing wisdom. And if I get out of my own way, things will settle themselves, and that further evolution of love and of purpose will show itself. So patience is a big part of leadership, definitely humility, and staying the course, seeing the long view. His Holiness the Dalai Lama always says we've got to see the long view of where we want to get to and really learn to take the path step by step.
Thank you so much.
A little bit what I can share. And during COVID was actually a blessing, because I was in a nunnery. We were cloistered. We carried on with our practices uninterrupted, dedicated all for the benefit of all mother beings. And, this is the best thing sometimes we can do, is just stay put and do our practice and stay very calm and peaceful and clear with our wisdom, compassion, and dedicate the merits and not give up on, staying through the ups and downs that are going to come on the path. So.
Wow, thank you. There's so much there. It's hard to summarize, but you also echoed the idea of trusting, the courage to trust oneself, but also the qualities of patience, humility, and seeing the long view, and stepping aside from yourself in a moment and just kind of doing what's right for the greatest good, or touching into the four immeasurable qualities to help guide teaching and leadership. So thank you so much. Dr. Karma Tashi, what are your thoughts about leadership in Buddhism? What qualities do you think are important when it comes to leadership in Buddhism?
I think Venerable Tenzin has already said everything. There's nothing much that I can add.
Yes.
Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. Having said that, since I have to say something anyway, so from the Buddhist women leaders that I have seen, who inspires me most, I wouldn't mention names, but it's the ones who have been able to bounce right back up when they face obstacles. So it's like, to me, I think it's number one, of course, is the motivation, that the motivation to serve all sentient beings. That is the greatest, and that's the anchor. Basically, that's the anchor which allows anyone to move ahead. We will always be faced with ups and downs. Obstacles will always come when we want to do something good, especially when we are working for the Dharma. The obstacles will come, and when it rains, it pours. Yeah, so it's literally like that. So first thing, we have to be very sure as to what we want to do, and for those leaders whom I have met, they seem to be very, very sure, because they have got a very pure heart and they really want to do it for sentient beings. There's very little there's zero selfishness from what I see in them, and this is the reason why they can actually just continue on and on, like never ending ever ready batteries, so it's like really super. And this is a quality that, of course, I do not have, but I really admire in the leaders, and they are consistent. They are so consistent that when ordinary people like me, when we face problems, we will just bounce up and drop down, and then for a while, and then go into our hiding, and then we come out after 6 months. But those leaders that I have seen, they carry on. They are consistent. They are consistent. They are consistent. They are consistent, because I believe that they are also living in the present moment. They live in the present moment. They know what they're doing. They have full intention, good heart for all sentient beings. And then also, as another quality that I admire in Buddhist leaders, is open lightheartedness. Yeah, they don't take things seriously. So it's like so meaning that they are serious in their motivation to help sentient beings, but they don't cling to it. They're actually very light-hearted. So it's like they don't grasp, when they don't clean, they don't get upset, so they just move on. And then so I feel that they're very kind. So when they are kind, they inspire others. If they are grumpy, I don't think so I'll be inspired by them. So they're really, really they are actually, they show that they're human, they're not superhuman. That's one important thing. And they always encourage us that we can be just like them. There's very little difference between us and them, because they are guiding us, not because they were born from they were born spontaneous birth like they was, or they sprung from the lotus. Or it's not like that. They ordinary beings like us, who were born from the womb, and if they can do it, we can do it. But they don't force, they just inspire. They say, look here, let's just do it. Yeah. So, and then they are very, very kind. They hold our hands. They when in terms of when they interact with us, they show their human side. They smile, they care, they ask you how you are, and then they also wait for the answer, not just ask you how you are and then brush you aside. So these are the kinds of things that really inspire and make us feel that we have a chance. So that's it from my side. These are the wonderful leaders that will always have a place in my heart, and I'm nowhere near to them, that's for sure.
Thank you, Dr. Karma. You're no way you're no way near to that, but on the same time, you were kind of saying that you are that, because leaders, really great Buddhist leaders, have a sense of sort of feeling equal, a sense of equality there. You're talking about too, and so Yeah, lovely, thank you. And the resilience of bouncing back light-hearted, not taking anything too seriously, and feeling a sense of closeness with leaders. Dr. Christie Chang, what about you? What do you think are some important qualities in leadership in Buddhism?
Well, if there was not much left there to say for our earlier speakers, I wonder what else I may add to this topic. But looking back, for all the Sakatita conferences that I have helped organize, my very much impressed conference theme when I was the president back in 2011 for the 12th Sakatita conference was leading to liberation. I think what differs a Buddhist leader from other leaders, well, I'm not trying to to have that mind of duality, but I mean, when we are talking about Buddhist leaders, so what makes a Buddhist leader? I think in addition to all the qualities that we, our speakers have mentioned, fearlessness, selflessness, and also that pure motivation to benefit all, I think remembering our goal is very important. What is the goal of that leadership? It's not, being a leader so that I'm in power, so that I have all the prestige or blah blah blah. All these like special treatment. No, we are not leaders because of all those so-called benefits. We are leaders because we are aiming at liberation for everyone we're trying to lead, and as well as ourselves. We are learners ourselves. So that's how I feel about being a local Buddhist leader, leading to liberation.
Leading to liberation, what a great summary, or what a great idea that separates Buddhist leadership from leadership we might see in politicians or in business. There's something quite different about Buddhist leadership that leading to liberation summarizes. So I want to thank you, Christie, and I want to expand our conversation. I think I had about 7 more questions, and we probably can't ask everybody every one of those 7 questions. It will be a bit more of a general discussion from here, but I wanted to hear from each one of you first. But now perhaps if we can turn the focus to women in Buddhism. So there's so much to talk about. You might have, your own thing to say about this, but on the one hand, in Buddhism, when I think about my own training in Buddhism, most meditation teachers that I've met or that I've learnt meditation from, they tend to be male. And I've had wonderful teachers, but they've all often been male. Or if I've organised a retreat, often it's for a male meditation teacher. And, I've learnt so much from many, wonderful male Buddhist teachers. But I'm also very interested to learn more from female Buddhist teachers as well. And I'm wondering, why, and it's a complex question, I know, but why have I not learnt from many female Buddhist teachers? Why are there not many Buddhist leaders that are female? A big question, I know, but I'd be very interested to hear anybody's thoughts on that question. Where are the Buddhist leaders? Somebody like to speak on that? Christie, you're the only one not muted, so perhaps I could pass back to you for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, first, yeah, that's a very good question, Lydia. And well, first of all, I would say that it's not just happening to the Buddhist world, right? We do have more males in the higher positions. We do have males in the, as teachers. And this gender inequality exists, in all religions and in all parts of our society for such a long time. And I would say the Buddhists, for Buddhists, maybe we are still a bit even more behind. But the female teachers are coming up, I would say. I was just so happy listening to, especially like Venerable Bhikkuni Vandana. Actually, she was the one who called me, who asked me, "May I call you sister?" One day she just popped up, on my Facebook Messenger, asking me whether she could give me a call. I said, "Oh, wow, okay, why not?" And I was very impressed listening to her, and especially after I found out how young, she is. And I feel like, of course, like having met so many wonderful Buddhist women teachers and practitioners through the Sakadita conferences. I would say outside of the Sakadita conferences, I don't encounter as many. Still, I'm beginning to see more and more coming up, especially the younger generation, which really delights me. I hope that I answered part of your question.
Thank you,
It
Christie.
takes time.
And
it
you
takes time. Yeah.
It takes time. And Christie, you mentioned Bhikkuni Vandana in your answer. So Bhikkuni Vandana, you're quite a young Buddhist leader. Tell me a little bit about how that started, or how it's been for you as a young Buddhist leader. Interested to share.
Since my childhood, I was a Samaneri. In 2019, I get my higher ordination as a bhikkhuni. So if you count, and it's 16 years completed that I'm in these robes. So because of my grandma, she was also a bhikkhuni. Now she's a Theri. She inspired me a lot. Like I said before, Sanghamitra, she went to another country in Sri Lanka and she worked alone there. So how much courage and how much strength she have. So like my grandmother, she belongs to Maharashtra, but she came in a Gujarat where like you see there's a casteism. You know about casteism, like Tenzin I said that in India there is so many dharmas, like a Hindu, Christian, Mohammedans, like. So in Gujarat, if you see, it's a pure Hindu land. So in India, in Gujarat, it's very hard to spread Buddhism because people are very strongly follow Hinduism. So when she built a monastery here, so it strikes in my mind, if she can, why I can't? Because that time people were not educated. They doesn't know what is Buddha and what is the benefits to follow the Dhamma. But now people are educated. People are coming to know what is Buddha and what is his Dhamma. So why I can't now? So that's why I'm working hard, that if my grandmother can do, if the Bhikkhuni Sanghamitra can do, so why I can't? I'm living this since my childhood, and I know some bhikkhunis, some bantes are very kind. Like Dr. Khamma, she said that some leaders are very kind and they are like taking care of their own child. So if we will build that kind of leaders, so I don't know. It will take a very long to build a very great Bhikkhuni Sangha in India also. But we need a leaders that kind of. That's all.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu. I definitely agree with that. And it's wonderful to see that passion and that commitment and courage to stand up and speak for women. What qualities of Venerable Tenzin Dasel, I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Lydia. I just wanted to touch back to what you said about taking a lot of courses and being taught by a lot of men, and to make the observation that that's also been an experience that I've had, that my two main teachers are His Holiness Dalai Lama and Kensho Rinpoche, Lobsang Tsen, but Jetsuma Tenzin Palmo came onto my path, back in 2016 when I took ordination, and I had always had the wish to meet her, and it happened organically up in Leh Ladakh. And she said to me, well, why haven't you come to see me? My nunnery is only nearby to Tosamling, the nunnery you're staying at. And I said, because I'm really working strongly within that nunnery to help hold that nunnery up. And, I think what happens, at least what I'll share from within the Vajrayana tradition, is there are many, many amazing meditation practitioners and many who could be great leaders as teachers. But often a lot of them are very engaged in their own practice after they get to a certain point. And part of what I suggested, at Tosamling was like, look, we really need to do something for the nunnery to keep it going. Let's create some retreats that we can offer shamatha. And luckily there we had nuns who could act as the teachers. And what I heard, because the first year of 2017, when we offered this, I became kind of the lead teacher that year. What I heard, and we had men and women, laymen and lay women come from around the world, was how much they enjoyed having a woman there. Because there's a different quality, I think. There's a different empathy, a different sense of loving kindness and compassion. And sometimes even the men were weeping. They felt so held in this very unique space that they had never entered into. And so I really do want to encourage all the sisters out there who can teach, whether you're in robes, whether you're a strong lay woman, you have those qualities, you have your practice. We need to hold each other up. Jetsumala and I would talk about it often, which is we can't just have one Jetsuma. That's not enough. And just like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, we can't have just one holiness. We all need to bring these qualities out. As my dear young but kind of senior sister in the robes, Vandana said, my Bhikkuni, lovely to see you now here, that, she's trusting herself. She's doing this, and it even doesn't matter on age. It has to do with who knows how old we all are. I'm here in the West, which is completely not a Buddhist society, but I'm trusting that my own heart commitment and kind of a commission to hold the Dharma, spread the qualities of all those four immeasurables, the loving kindness, especially the love, that's the greatest power. And that we need to see, if you look at the people who attend these retreats, it's 99% female. Maybe now, maybe 90%, because some brothers are coming. And we have to have a mirror of ourselves also sitting, not just because it's a female, but because there are so many qualified female teachers who would love to be able to offer and guide and share. But the female lay people or female people who aren't even in Buddhism yet, who are looking for female leadership as something unique, as something a different kind of opportunity to learn more and expand for everyone. What would female leadership look like? Because as Christie said, as a world, we don't really know this very well. We don't. And we're in an exciting century. The 21st century, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has called the century of female leadership. And that means on all levels, we need to bring it out and ask for that. And then also say, yes, that's actually something new that this suffering world is desperate for. So I think we will see it now in the coming decades, and wonderful to name it and say, oh, and what would it be like? What more unique flavors in this kind of beautiful cooking spice of the beautiful Dharma would the female voice be able to add into that kind of different harmony, resonance, tonality, but a feeling quality too, that I do believe women have innately, that there's a reason that the females are mothers. There's an intuitive, there's a compassion, there's a sense of care that a mother has for the child that is really unique to that bond of coming through that body of that being. And so I think as a body of Sangha, we have to expand for the female body to be an equal part of that. There was a reason that the Buddha didn't take parinirvana until he established the Fourfold Sangha. And it was really to also validate that the lay women and the Bhikkhuni Sangha is really equal part of those four pillars that uphold the Dharma for the benefit of all the world. It doesn't matter if beings are Buddhists or not, or if beings are whatever gender identity they want. But for myself, I feel being a monastic kind of transcends gender in a way, as Tara said in her lifetime. Here, there is no male, there is no female. that's true on the ultimate absolute level, absolutely true. And it's the mind that will get enlightened. As Christie said, our full goal is enlightenment. But on a relative level, gender does matter, and presence
Yeah.
even more so. And so we need to see this presence and this mirroring back.
It's a wonderful point. And I really agree that that women, the female voice, female leaders in Buddhism has a particular different quality to have. The Australia Sakyadhita conference in 2019 was my first conference that I was able to attend. And I met Jetsuma Tenzin Palmer briefly there. And I just felt just such a deep sense of and gratitude. I thought, wow, this is a female master of the mind. And it was just very emotional for me, actually, because I'd only ever really met a female teacher of that quality as a man, and to see a female embodiment of that quality was very emotional for me, and very, very meaningful and inspiring for me. And I agree. I think that women leaders in Buddhism do bring, perhaps it's the one truth or the one set of teachings, but a different flavor. I really like how you put that, Venerable Tenzin. Thank you. I had a funny question come to mind. I'm not sure if anyone would like to answer it, but in Buddhism, we believe in reincarnation, and perhaps at times we have some degree of choice over if we might choose to be born as a male or a female. Would anyone like to say, you might not know, but why would you choose a female body if, say, we did have some sort of choice over that in this particular incarnation? Dr. Karmatashi, it's a strange question, I know, but why might you have chosen the female form for your life this time around?
Oh, interesting. I didn't know I had a choice. I thought I was just by karma. But then again, so thanks a lot, for the question. Well, basically, whatever body that we are in, like Venerable Tenzin said, that it's actually the mind that matters, so you can be in whichever, whatever gender orientation, as long as you understand that your mind is the forerunner, as the first verse of the Dhammapada is very, very important. So I don't think I've reached a level where I can choose the body, but I make the best out of the body that I have, because it's a precious human body. And I think that whatever endowments and leisure and endowments that we have in this body is something that transcends the notion of gender. And of course, in the relative sense, gender does make sense also, because it does have an implication on people's role in society, because we know that even in the monastic sangha we have gendered roles. So basically, why we do not see female leaders many is because we are culturally conditioned. And even in when reading the sutras also, there is an element of androcentric writings, tendencies to actually highlight the achievement of men rather than, and also keep women invisible. So I like what the late Rita Gross actually said. It's like women have the same ontological status as trees, unicorns, and whatever. So it's like a men are the norm, and women are the exception to the norm. So I guess there is a purpose. There's always a purpose for coming into a particular body, as of the karmas that I've created. Obviously, to be very honest with you, the menstrual cycle actually kills me every month. So it's like such a headache. As we grow older, then you realize that, oh my God, it's like you're getting closer to menopause and all this. But you have to be very, I'm sure that, we have male and female audiences here, but a human body, we have got lots of challenges. But at the same time, I also appreciate that the female body actually is a unique tool to reach out to all the masses of women that we see who come. 80% come to temples. They are women, 20% are men, but the Buddhist leaders, like 80% men and 20% women. So obviously there is a special reason to be in this body, to be able to inspire the 80% who do not have any how to say, any kind of inspiration. And I have also been searching in the past. I used to wonder why were there no female Rinpoches. I thought that there was no such thing as a female Rinpoche. Then I met Jesun Ma, and then I met Jesun Khandro Rinpoche. Then I was thinking like, oh, okay, they're here, but nobody talks about them. I wonder why. Then I realized that it's because there is such a thing as androcentric tendencies in Buddhism, whether it is in scholarship, but also is the way they are being presented in society. So panels like this, forums like this are very important, and I must applaud Satwa, yeah, Brother Sherab, and his team, because you are actually bringing out these people with same ontological status as trees, unicorns, etc., to be actually in the forefront, to be able to actually, you are showing that females actually do exist, and you're giving us a voice. So and it's men actually in the background who are actually giving us a voice. So, and I must say that I'm very pleased, yeah, at this opportunity. So that's about it. I don't know whether I chose this body, but one thing is for sure, that I'm glad I'm in this body. Thanks so much.
And that's so beautiful, my dear sister Karma. I'm so good we had that day in Malaysia together. I just very lovely and eloquently put the way you put it. First, the precious human body. Of course, anything that is a precious human body connected with Buddhism, we can work with. But to your question, Lydia, like what I was thinking when we were talking about Jetsumala, especially as the main, I think for all of us, very inspirational, like so moving. Even if I'll think about her too much, I'm going to weep. So let me just stay in my joy. Because even in her story, her teacher said to her, I don't know why in other lifetimes I've been able to keep you really close to me, but in this lifetime you've chosen to take a female rebirth. I mean, so there you have that, right? There's someone who's told by her Lama that in his other lifetimes he's been very close, and now she's here. And so, I feel in my heart it's wonderful to be a woman, menopause and all. I went through early surgical menopause, which was really hellish. I was up in the Himalayas at about 15,000 feet within 2 months of that, sweating, dying, suffering. There are some challenges, we have to say, to the female body that are unique, but that's okay. We can handle them. But on the other side, whatever is going to be of most benefit to all mother beings, I want to be that. I don't care what that looks like. If it's an animal, a unicorn, a female, a male, a gay, a lesbian, a bisexual, I don't know. All these things are just labels. Underneath, I want to be true to who I know I am, and who I start with is I have some Buddha nature. I'm not saying I'm Buddha, not anywhere near that, but I am confident because Buddha said so, that all living creatures have Buddha nature. That's good enough for me. I'm going to work with that. And with that motivation of pure compassion, knowing just like me, everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. I'm going to work to keep myself happy, healthy, kind, compassionate, peaceful, following Dharma, studying, wisdom, sometimes coming out, as Jetsuma likes to say, breathing out, sometimes breathing in, retreating, but available, accessible, down to earth, basic human being. That's it. And I get read all the time as male. Some of you know I'm quite tall. I've been thrown out of bathrooms in the restrooms in airports around the world. It's okay. I just laugh. I say to the ladies, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sisters, but I'm sure I'm in the right place." Like just the six perfections plus the seventh, the sense of humor. Jetsuma likes to add the seventh perfection, sense of humor. Carmela mentioned, yes, sense of humor. Working with what we've got in front of us, that's it. Whatever's happening, that's what's happening. We're going to deal with it. And so I think being a female in this particular time, in this particular place, is a fantastic opportunity to benefit the entire planet in ways that it's just desperately crying out for. So whatever reason, I agree with Carmela. I don't feel I could choose anything really. I mean, but happy with what I've got and going to do the best with what I've got in front of me.
May I?
Christie?
Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe in one of our past lifetimes, we have, made this agreement to all come together to this lifetime to be born as women so that we can work together to make a change for the world, right? We don't know. Speaking of Jetsuma, following Venerable Tenzin Dasel, actually, I remember Jetsuma once said, when we were in Korea, a couple of years ago, trying to help set up Saketida Korea. And people back in Korea were trying to also promote the book, Cave in the Snow, by translating, by giving it a very sexy title in Korean, like vowing to be reborn as women, lifetime after lifetime, something like that, okay? But when Jitsuma was interviewed, she said, well, if in the future, if men were those who became oppressed instead, maybe I will want to become a man instead. Do you get it? The point is not to become a woman lifetime after lifetime, but that's a bodhisattva vow. You want to be there to help relieve the suffering of the most oppressed. And that's what impressed me the most about, being with Jitsuma Tenzin Pomo. And if I may, actually, I was looking at our private chat at the same time. Our two honorary sisters, our brother Tom and our brother Sheriff, I like to call them our honorary sisters. Upon hearing what we were saying, it's the men, like supporting us, trying to give the Buddhist sisters a voice. Father Chong said that, our Sava project broadcasts have a higher percentage of women in the audience for almost every show. We have always concluded that women will achieve enlightenment first. That's from Brother Chong. And Brother Shara said immediately, agree with you, Brother Chong. Okay. All right. That was, our two honorary sisters conversation I would like to share here too.
Thank you, Christie. And I love that idea of having this female body to be an opportunity. It's an idea brought up a few times now that we have this body and it's an opportunity to perhaps give back to the world in ways that might not be possible if we had a male body. What a wonderful thing that is. I gave birth about 6 months ago, and I didn't know the gender. I thought it was a boy, and when and the baby was born, and they said it's a girl, and I immediately thought, oh, how wonderful that I have a girl. I thought it was a boy, and I would have been delighted with a boy, but it was a girl. I think in many ways, perhaps life can be more challenging for a woman, but I think that women's wisdom is such a powerful and such a deep thing, and it's lovely that we can all share that together. To change to another theme that's been brought up a couple of times, we need to hold each other up. I think Venerable Tenzin Dasel said, as women in leadership, we need to hold each other up. In everybody's opinion, do you think that women are good at doing that? Are we good at supporting each other in the Buddhist world to sort of hold each other up? Christie, what are your thoughts?
Well, women, to be honest, are not so good at holding each other up. But I wouldn't say that they have done that consciously. I think, just so unconscious. Well, earlier, Lydia, you have also mentioned that we are so used to having male, teachers only, or like males in the higher powerful position. So somehow, or maybe because is the opposite sex attract or something like that too. Somehow, and also for ages, women have been mostly put in more subordinate position. I always like to say, for example, in the Chinese imperial courts, one emperor has so many concubines, and all these concubines are busy, trying to get the attention from one emperor. So what do you think they would do to each other? I think it's only, just only natural. They try to fight against each other, to collaborate. That was, the impression I got. Okay. And then I like to just use that as as an analogy. So women really, and Jasuma also pointed this out many times in her Dharma talks. And she always like to advocate that if women do not support women themselves, who else will do? We have our nice brothers who are really supporting the sisters. But in many Buddhist communities, it's true that we tend to find Buddhist women not respecting Buddhist women. And maybe that's because they do not respect themselves enough. It's a lack of confidence, maybe. I don't know. But in any case, I think if we can become more conscious about this, it's like what we are doing here. We are really upholding each other. We are really listening to each other, and we are really, loving each other, wanting to support each other. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Christie. What are other people's thoughts? It's a very important topic, I think. Bhikkuni, you had your hand up.
Like you said, the Bhikkhunis should support each other. But in India, it's because I'm too young, like you said. So because I'm too young, people think that I don't have qualities. Not people, but Bhikkhunis. They think that I don't have qualities. I can't build up. I can't be a leader, and I can't work properly. They think like that. What I have experienced is that most of Bhikkhunis who doesn't know anything, who can't even read the suttas, who doesn't know about Dhamma anything, but still they want attention. This is the big point of women, that they every time need attention of people. So they are like, oh, I am a senior, I should be first, I will speak. No, you don't need to speak because you are a junior, you are still learning, you can't speak in front of me. They're like that. And like I said, they don't know about Dhamma because they can't learn, they can't read. So how Sister Christie Chang said, because they are doing it unconsciously. When in Buddha's time, when Bhikkhuni Sangha were created, so whoever woman was coming in Dhamma, they are ready to learn Dhamma, and they are conscious that what we are doing and why we are here. But the Bhikkhuni Sangha, the Bhikkhunis from some Bhikkhunis are like that. When they came into Dhamma, their behavior is same as before. Like before they was leper, they are a person. They are behaving the same after wearing the robe, after the ordination. They don't know where we are going now, what we are. They are seeing themselves like before. So when you understand what you are now, first you have to learn yourself. First you have to understand yourself, where you are entering. And that's why, because of Bhikkhuni's behavior, that kind of behavior, some monk doesn't like them. They don't like to invite Bhikkhunis in programs. They won't allow to speak Bhikkhunis because of these stupid things, because they want attention. That's why they are not supporting Bhikkhuni Sangha. If there's things like Bhikkhuni Sangha is destroying their reputation in front of Upasakas. Because we are teachers, we should maintain our position in front of the lay person. No, so that some incidences happen. That's why monks are not supporting here in India. So because women are greedy for attention, when they leave the thing that we don't attention, we don't want attention, we just want enlightenment. When they think like that, yes, we want only enlightenment. That time, I think we can get a good sangha, and that time the women can hold each other's hand. It's my opinion. If they think that yes, we want only enlightenment, not attention. So it's the main dhamma that yes, everyone came in dhamma because they want enlightenment, not attention, like that. And I'm also here for enlightenment, not attention. So when we have that kind of aim, so we can hold anyone's hand. Even if she is my enemy, I can hold her hand because I don't want attention. I want the enlightenment. I want the true dhamma. That's all.
That's
Thank you.
wonderful. That reminds me of the slogan that I think Christie said was the title for our Sakudita conference, leading to liberation. Was it Christie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not leading for attention or leading for power. It's leading to
Yeah.
liberation.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhikkuni.
Can I add something, Lydia? Very
Yes.
quick one.
Please.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually very thankful to Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana for bringing this up at a very young and very wise Bhikkhuni amongst us. Yeah. So yes, I would like to highlight one aspiration prayer. I cannot remember which one at the moment, but it's also it's from the Kajum Mulam text. Yeah, it's a aspiration prayer, and in one of the aspiration prayers, I read that when it came to bhikkhus, this kinds of aspiration was not mentioned, but when it came to bhikkhunis, this aspiration was mentioned, and the aspiration in point was may bhikkhunis never interfight with one another ever again. And there was no such similar aspiration for bhikshus, so that actually speaks volumes, you know. And I wanted to also highlight one incident which happened like a decade ago when I was in Thailand. I witnessed, bhikshunis not treating the 10 precept nuns or the mechis well. So it's like I was actually invited for some event in Bangkok, and then we went for breakfast together, and all of us were seated on the same table. And then the mechis came, and then we said, okay, mechis, all of us, let's have a breakfast together. And then suddenly the bhikshunis came, and then when the bhikshunis came, they just had one glance, and then all the mechis ran away. It's like you're not supposed to be here. It's our place. You can go find your own place, you know. And I thought that it's actually quite disgraceful in the sense that we are supposed to be uplifting one another. And then those same mechis, they actually told me when I asked them about whether do they want to become bhikshunis or not. Then they said that if becoming a bhikshuni means that I become arrogant and I forget my purpose and I lose compassion, then I don't want to become a bhikshuni. There was a resounding, what they call that, cry amongst them, which is that they don't want to become bhikshunis if they end up becoming mean. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's all my contribution for this portion of the question.
You know, it hurts the most when you respect someone and you think that no, this person is my inspiration. When you see that kind of vision to someone, then they do something bad and suddenly it breaks your trust and everything. That why that person did that. Like if a bhikkhuni is a ordinating, so when she is a woman, so woman is a mother, woman is a sister, woman is a daughter. So when someone is coming to you, so you should treat them as your father, as your son, as your daughter. So when you treat someone like that, so everyone will come to you. So I just want that in every bhikkhunis, that you should treat everyone like your own kid, own child, as your own family. Because one bhikkhuni, if I am a bhikkhuni, so one woman will come to me and she will ask me, because you are bhikkhuni, I will ask you, I'm not afraid with you, because you are a woman, you can understand my feelings. You can understand how I'm feeling and what the situation I'm going through. So in India, because I said the Hinduism, they have a very strong affection on women's on women's. They have very restrictions on women's that when like women can't enter in temples, they can't cook when they are on their monthly cycle, like that. So that when they order, they want to become Buddhist, they ask me that questions. If these restrictions, if we have any restrictions in Buddhism for women, they are like that. So if I am a woman, if I can understand one girl's situation, if I can talk with them kindly, so she will tell the other girl that no, this bhikkhuni is giving proper guidance, she is giving proper knowledge, so that another girl will be inspired. Oh, I think I should visit her once. No, so when someone said a good words about another person, so we are imagine how that person will be. So if you are a bhikkhuni, you should treat everyone as a mother. I think like that only. If you become a mother more than a bhikkhuni, then you can build a bhikkhuni sangha and you can spread Buddhism very easily.
Thank you, Bhikkuni. Tenzin,
very beautiful. Just to chime in, because I've lived now, as Lydia mentioned, that I was living for the 2 years at Donju Getseling these past 2 years, a whole different experience of living within a female community, that we were all female except for one Kempo. So beautiful, so precious, the way the community there is in harmony with each other completely, even during lockdown, during pressured times. Very unique role in a sense for being a kind of a novice amongst some of them, because I am a novice. I only ordained in 2017, and I only have a novice vow as Getsul ordination. We don't have the full Bhikkhuni Gelongma vow in the Vajrayana tradition, and I'm okay with that. You know why? Because within Vajrayana, the promise in the text is that the females can enlighten even in one lifetime. So I've kind of sidestepped the whole Bhikkhuni ordination movement. I mean, that is still very much going on, and I understand it and I totally support it. But I'm just speaking now from my own experience, okay, just as a Getsul, is that I lived as one of the oldest members of this community, as one of the only non-Himalayan, non-Nepali, non-Tibetan, non-Bhutanese sisters. And I never felt that these ideas even came into my mind stream about my skin looking different, my age being different, my culture being different, my country. It only came up like within maybe 4 months ago of like, oh, when was the last time you were in your payu? You know, when was the last time you were back in your country? That some of the sisters started to ask, like, maybe you need to go back. It's good if you go back for a little while. But I felt really like I didn't want to leave. You know, I mean, it was so wonderful to be in a community of harmony of over 100 sisters who I always just called them my sisters. I didn't really want the titles of saying Genla to some or little sisters to other, because some are so already so bright and so even beyond, you know, they're already there where I want to be, and they're just children because they're showing up saying, that's the nunnery, I need to go in there, and their families are bringing them. Now, what's a little different in India from the Himalayan regions is that some of those communities still are very matrilineal, at least the Buddhist communities, and the women and the mothers have more influence and more power over what's going to happen in their family. And so a lot of the young nuns who are coming from like Ladakh and Zanskar are only 3, 4, 5 years old, telling their families, look, you've got to bring me now there to this nunnery. And the families are actually bringing them. And the nunnery won't just take any little girl that's showing up. But these are very precious kind of appearances, if you will, as little young female beings who know who they are. They already know. And then they're entering the nunnery. Their families might come and see them off after a week saying, are you okay? And they say, yep, bye-bye, you know, like so happy, no tears, no missing, no crying. And that way the rest of the community just takes them right in. Just so precious. And of course, that's with Jetsumala's blessing. And it's with our brother monastery that's nearby, Tashi Choedron. They like to come over. This year in February, we all did Nunye practice together for an intensive week of fasting and prostration. The monks loved it. I went to see where they were staying in our short-term retreat center to see if they needed anything, and they were all cleaning up. And I said, "Oh, you brothers are welcome anytime." So there are different models possible, and we need to hold that potentiality there. So as our Bhikkuni Vandana was saying, yes, we want to become the change. As Gandhi Ji said, be the change that you want to see, so that others welcome and embrace a new vision. And that is one of harmony, of equality, and of that loving kindness, of respect and cooperation that goes beyond what Christie was talking about, of the competition, the labels of who you think you are in a very conventional sense as being the reality, the ultimate goal of life, has nothing to do with that. And so female Sangha is so precious in that sense of wanting to build the harmony, wanting to build the container to hold a pure Dharma that's welcoming to all other members of the Sangha, and many visitors who came before the lockdown from beyond, who just pop in. Like one day, a local group of a teacher and his school students walked into the nunnery and said, "Oh, we've heard that this is a very blessed place. We'd like to learn meditation. Can you teach us?" I just happened to be walking by the gate, and I said, "Well, yes, I can. Come on in." I mean, it was obviously a benefit pre-COVID, and they loved it. And so Jetsuma has visions like that of how the community, how the Sangha can be. I myself have these visions on a very global level of what America could hold for bringing more bhikkhuni, more geshimas. Now we're trying to bring geshimas to visit, bringing more lay people together to share the beauty of the Dharma. So we need to believe in this cooperation, that yes, maybe there's a reason that rule was there, that the females have to be a little more mindful of not being in their competitive, maybe there's an old karma imprints to that, but to take the flourishing as sisters and to just, really, as I said earlier, hold each other up and hold a very pure motivation, so that container just shines, radiates.
Beautiful.
A fruitful and important discussion we've been having over this time together, and I feel like we could keep talking for hours, but we only have a few minutes left. We've got a few things to do at the end. We've got maybe only 5 minutes left. So I'm wondering about just hearing from each of you really briefly about, just in a couple of sentences, about what, for all the women listening here, we know that the majority of the audience is female. What can we do? What can Buddhist women do to, raise the profile of Buddhist women, or to, what are your thoughts? It's a general question, maybe a hard question to answer in a couple of sentences, but an action. What is an action item that our listeners can take away from today? Bhikkuni Vandana, perhaps we can start with you.
Yeah, because I told you, because I'm living in this since childhood, so I know the fruit of the Dhamma. So I want to share this with every woman, because the women have so much burden on her shoulders, but they never show. She never show that how much she's suffering. So when she learns Dhamma, she will suffer less. So because in India, because the Hinduism, they have ruled the women. So I want to make them free from the sufferings, and from their mind, from their body. I want to make them free. And if I want to do that thing, I must have to try hard, no matter how. If I'm falling down, I have to wake up again, and I have to work again. If I will give up, then I can't support anyone. So because my opinion, I think that Bhikkhuni should stop competing, because they are competing each other. That's why they are not focusing what people wants from us, and what the Dhamma should be have, and what they should do in future. They are competing with each other. They are not saying that women are suffering. They are not saying that before we were also suffering like this. They forgot everything. They forgot that where they belongs, and what sufferings they have faced if there remains that things, they won't compete with each other. They will see that only the women who are suffering. So I think bhikkhunis should stop to compete with each other. They should
Stop
only
competing.
work for them. Yeah, stop competing. But they are not listening. They are like arguing. No, we want respect. We are senior. We want this. By saying that you're a senior, no one will give you respect. You have to work if you want that position, if you want that respect. But they only wants to argue. They only wants to attention. So you won't get anything, no any benefits. I think that's why
Thank you.
people against of women, that they want enlighten and they can't achieve anything because women only wants to argue. They don't want to accept the reality. Women are never, I don't know why they never accept the reality. If yes, if you have done something wrong, if you accept, yes, I have done, so the matter will be closed. But they will argue. Not only a lay person, but on bhikkhunis also, they are also like that. Oh, I didn't done, no, I'm senior, I'm a senior, so what I'm saying is the truth. So if there is will like this, so the dhamma can't grow. I don't think. If you will forget, like Buddha said, whatever happened with you, just leave it there and step forward. So when we follow this in our life, so we can do something for Buddha's Dhamma and the Bhikkhuni Sangha and all the Sangha. But we are not doing like this only. So I just want to say, for if a woman, if a bhikkhuni, we want to build a bhikkhuni sangha should know the importance of bhikkhuni sangha. They should know that they are women, and they should know what women's importance are and why women's life is so precious. Because women bring a new life in this world because she is a precious. Why men are not giving birth? Why only women? Why women have the so many relations, like mother, like child, like a sister, like a daughter? No, in every relation, she's taking care of everyone without thinking of herself. She's selfless. No, she's not selfish. So when you are not selfish in your family, then why you are selfish in Dhamma? You should remain that thing, that yes, if that was my family in Dhamma, also whoever coming to me, that person also is my family. When you think that like that, so you won't be selfish. You will never
So
become selfish. You
cultivating
will.
harmony. Thank you, Bhikkuni. I'll
Yeah, okay,
ask
sorry.
just because we're running out of time, but thank you.
Yeah,
The
sorry,
importance of
yes.
harmony,
Yeah.
harmony, and yeah.
No, because
and
I
not
got so
arguing too much.
excited, so I was sorry. Yeah.
Dr. Karma, what is, in just one sentence, what is your recommendation for our listeners, for our female listeners, for what they can do to promote women in Buddhism?
Okay. For me is that I would like to encourage all female practitioners out there that actually enlightenment is a matter of the mind. So don't worry about your body, don't worry about your age, don't worry about your sexual orientation, don't worry about your whatever how much you have learned, or whether you have learned all the scriptures, whether you're expert meditator. Just wherever that you're starting, you'll be fine as long as you keep having faith in yourself, and then daily take refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha as guidance, and you will never go astray. The blessings of the Triple Gem will always be with you. All you need to do is just believe in yourself, and then listen to the teachings, practice the teachings, and then try to meditate a little bit in your life, and try to lessen your clinging to this and that, this idea, that idea. So when we start to cling,
Thank
cling,
you.
cling, we collect more suffering. So when we let go, and then we just immerse in our own true nature of mind, and also have a lot of faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and our teachers, and our ability to walk on the path, we will be all right. So forget about what other
Thank
people
you.
say. Yeah, just be yourself and progress at your own
Thank you,
pace.
Dr. Karma. Dr. Christie, what is your brief advice for our listeners to promote women in Buddhism?
To our sisters,
Yeah, to our
especially.
sisters, especially.
Yes.
But to everybody.
But to everybody as well. Yes. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. And then be kind and patient towards each other, to all your sisters, to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Christie. And lastly, to conclude for our discussion for the evening, Venerable Tenzin, what is your advice for our sisters to empower women in Buddhism and generally?
So to empower your own practice is to turn the eyes inward and look at your pure motivation, and to remember the bodhicitta aspiration, or if you're not in the bodhicitta mindset, just be very loving and kind, be as compassionate infinitely every day as you can be, live with joy, hold everything with equanimity. Everyone is just like you. Everything that lives wants happiness, doesn't want suffering. And as Christie said, start with yourself and then live outwards. But really the pure motivation, and keep your practice in ethics. Keep your body calm, your speech kind, and your mind very pure, and you will go all the way on the path. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you. And what a wonderful discussion. I'd like to thank you all again. I feel it's very late here. It's midnight here in Australia now, but I feel energized. I normally go to bed about 8 because having a baby, you have to go to bed early, but I'm up late, and all of your ideas and your passion, your wisdom, your views have really inspired me, and I've got so much to think about. So thank you for your energy, your time today, and for being here with the Sattva project. So, and I'll pass over to Samiksha to take over from here.
Thank you so much. It was a very wonderful, inspiring, and interesting session about not only our given topic, but also covering some other aspects, some other very crucial aspect. I think we really touched some of the very crucial points, and it was very delightful to hear all your experiences and opinion. And then some of the point discussed were really, for me personally, being a woman myself, being a female myself, was really heart touching. So I really thank you all for giving all your precious time and sharing all your experiences here and reaching knowledge with us. Thank you for joining us on Sattva project. And then, so lastly, let us conclude our program. So before we end with dedication prayer, let us have some announcement for our upcoming events. So Brother Chong, can we please have the next slide? Okay, so on the 26th of December, there will be a discussion on Madhyamika philosophy on our ongoing series, which is Samiksha series, which will be moderated by both of us. So it will be a discussion based on Arideva's Chatushataka, 400 verses treatise. We already had the first session, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So this is the part 2. Yeah. And I think this is only one announcement. Yeah, this is our poster. Okay, now I think we can end this our wonderful discussion with dedication prayer. So first of all, I would like to request Dr. Christie to have a small dedication prayer, and then also each one of you to have a small dedication prayer from your respective traditions, and then we will at last end this session with an English dedication prayer. So, Dr. Christie.
Thank you. Actually, as we were talking about women leaders, very sadly, we just lost one wonderful woman leader in Thailand, Mechi Sansani, who so kindly invited us to hold our 12th Sakadita conference in Bangkok at Satira Dhammasatthana 2011. Just as Venerable Lake Sheila and I were not sure where could we bring the Sakadita to after our project, our plan in Singapore fell through, we were just wondering. And then we received a phone call from Mechi Sansani herself. She said, "Why don't you come and check out my place, our center, Dharma Center. And so we went and we had a beautiful conference in her forest-like, center, which she actually turned into a Dharma center from almost like a garbage land in order to, to hold, to shelter mothers, single mothers or orphans. And she always, went to teach in the prisons, and she has taken in so many women into her center, offering them a very safe and beautiful place to practice, to learn about the Dharma. So we had this great fortune to hold our conference there, and then for which we really owe her a lot. And later she actually told me it was the Tara, the green Tara. Imagine, she's a Mechi, right, in the Theravada tradition, but she's so open-minded. She had a Tara, a green Tara from the Vajrayana tradition, and she gave me that Tara. She actually had me greet that Tara on the back of an elephant together. I was the president back then, so she let me lead the elephant, holding that Tara in the back of the elephant, and together that was our inauguration for the conference. It was so beautiful. And so I would like to dedicate, the merit for our conversation about women leaders tonight, from my part especially, to Mechi Sansani with the Green Tara song that somehow came to me. I was just like chanting Om Dare Du Soha one day when I was waiting for the elevator to come, and just so spontaneously a tune came in, and I just picked it up. I sang that to my iPhone. And then later I encounter a pop music composer, my producer, music producer now. I just sent that recording to him, and then he said, wow, you have received that tune, and I have also received that accompanying music. So together we had this song. We had a shorter version, which Brother Chong so kindly put together on a YouTube. Later, if you are interested, you can also visit the YouTube link with a couple of photos that Brother Chong has found. So I would like to have Brother Chong show this video clip as a dedication to Mechi Sansani. Om Dare Du Dare Soha. Om Dale Du Le 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 Soha.
It was very beautiful. Oh, okay, I hope I'm not muted. Yes. So next, I would like to invite Dr. Venerable Venerable Tenzin Dasel, for a short dedication prayer.
I just dedicate this for the benefit and happiness of all mother sentient beings, for their highest happiness to be realized. And Jangshub Semcho Kurimboche Make Panam Ke Gyorchi Ke Panyam Parme Paryang Gone Gondu Pelwasho. Bodhi mind, precious and sublime, may it arise where it has not arisen, and where it has arisen, may it flourish and grow forevermore. May we all attain Buddhahood for the benefit of every sentient being.
Dr. Lydia.
I would like to dedicate our conversation to all women around the world, especially Buddhist women practicing the Dharma, for them to think, well, maybe I chose this female form for a reason, and to really celebrate that to the full, and to share the Dharma in their speech, in their thoughts, and in their actions.
Yeah. So, Dr. Karma, we lost you. So, I think still she's frozen on my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Then, Brother Chung, could you please show the English dedication prayer? Yeah. Then I invite Samiksha for this English dedication prayer.
The Four Great Vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to send them all. Delusions are endless. We vow to cut through them all. The teachings are infinite. We vow to learn them all. The Buddha way is inconceivable. We vow to attain it. May all beings be well, happy, and safe.
Satu, satu, satu.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks to our audience as well for joining. Yeah. Hope we could
Good
make
night.
it sound better. Yeah. Good night, good morning, good day.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you
Yeah,
especially
thank
to
you,
Dr.
everyone.
Lydia, who's a new mother, for hosting and staying up late with us here, and for your skillful moderation. We very appreciate it. Thank you to the Samiksas, and especially to Brother Chong and to Brother Sherab for putting Sattva together so nicely for us. And to all my sister panelists, keep going, and let's meet again soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.